Yeki Nabud. The best. The oldest stories in the world have always begun the same way. Once upon a time, or rather, there once was and there once wasn't. From a trove of Persian phrases, this one is the foundation, the driving force behind all storytelling, the opening of every fairy tale. Someone was there and someone wasn't there. There once was a time and there once was no time. Yeki Bud, Yeki Nabud. Close your eyes and think of Beirut, because there once was a city just as the elderly describe it, and there wasn't. Beirut before the war? Habibi Yaini. Beirut meant sunshine, freedom, joie de vivre. Summer nights at Pepe Abed's tavern, where they served the most beautiful lobster and moored yachts rocked on the waves. The Saint-Tropez of the Levant. All year round, the warm scent of food rose from family picnics along the beach. Meze, bought at Abu Naim on Rue du Rafour with date-filled cookies for the little ones to enjoy on the rocky coastline. Shadows on the Azure Sea. Middle East Airlines flights descending, carrying a steady stream of tourists to the Paris of the Middle East. Beirut before the war meant sound, city of song and melody. People sang on the street, muezzins sang from minarets, nuns sang with the congregation in church. The din of money changers clamoring in Place des Martyrs, lovers laughing on the corniche, vendors haggling at the souk around the Place de l'Étoile clock tower, and Ahmed Aziz, the shoe shiner outside the Moonlight Hotel, murmuring, "Have a nice day" to Marlon Brando and Brigitte Bardot. In the shimmering city of contradictions, the Armenian jeweler played checkers with a Maronite tailor and Shiite fruit seller. While in a cafe outside the bazaar, you'd share a hookah and inquire after the health of the family, but never mention religion. Because holidays were celebrated together, and a city home to many religions celebrates many holidays. Beirut was Dikran Nacharian, the lutenist, who sang his songs beneath the lancet windows on Rue Monod, ballads that made women blush in their rooms. And Beirut was Hussein Badir, the souvenir salesman on Rue Hamra, always grumbling about declining worry bead sales, worried that people weren't sufficiently worried. There is storytelling, and then there is silence, and the questions in between. What about the mistrust, the fears, the doubts? How could what came later have happened and why? You are met with silence in the very places you should find answers, sand and desert. Geography books teach us that Lebanon is the only Arab country without a desert. But that isn't true. The desert is everywhere, and within it there is no language for remembrance, no language for memory. The silence you are asking about is more profound than stillness, because stillness never really consumes everything. A clock's ticking or refrigerator's hum remains even in the smallest space. Silence is different. It engulfs the horizon and devours all it touches, and whatever sense of certainty you had hoped to discover steals away like a gloved cat burglar. Even in the olden days, storytellers in the cafes and public squares in Isfahan, Cairo, Damascus, Beirut knew there was more to the desert than mere emptiness. Beneath the sand were entire cities, civilizations that at some point had sunk. A single grain of sand, one of the old masters told me when I was still a child. We had gotten caught in a storm and spent the night at a stranger's house. That's all it takes to set a great story in motion.